Welcome back. You're watching Business Morning on Channels Television, and we're looking at maritime issues, specifically talking about cargo clearance and, of course, the congestion at the Lagos ports. And I still have here with me Dr. Ikenawusu. He's a member of Freight Forwarders Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and of course Mr. Emma Okoli, the Assistant Secretary, Association of Nigerian Licensed Customs Agents, Apapa chapter. Thank you, gentlemen, for sticking on.
Thank you.
Well, Ikena, before we went on a break, we were talking about demurrage. In fact, that's I believe is another issue that perhaps is making some of these importers leave their or abandon their containers there, because they've actually complained about high demurrage imposed by shipping companies
and terminal operators. Well, in the maritime sector, the demurrage, the shipping companies charge you demurrage.
Okay.
The port operators charge you storage. Either way, it's a cost, and it's charged on a daily basis. And for the terminal operators, why it's worse is that it's graduated. There's the first period, it may be, say, 3,000 naira a day. Maybe that's for 2 weeks. The second period for another 2 weeks, that may be 6,000 naira a day. The third period, and continuous, that may be 10,000 a day, depending on the terminal. I don't have the figures fully correct. Now, shipping companies give you 5 days free. Terminal operators give you 3 days free. In my 25 years in the industry, I'm not aware of any consignment, not one, that has been delivered from any seaport or airport without demurrage. That means practically, okay, perhaps at the airport, maybe 1 or 2, but practically in the seaport, it means the 48 hours has not been
so it has
achieved.
not just been working.
Yes, it's not working as excellently as we expected. Yes, we have challenges. Shipping companies, primary issue with them, one, they arbitrarily place their charges however they want it. Secondly, you charge demurrage on Saturdays and Sundays, but you don't offer the service on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
That is illegal. Thirdly, their operating environment is not designed in such a way as to take the crowd, because you've got a lot of inflow of cargo. Come to the terminal operators. Many of the terminal operators are not operating the 24-hour service, practically except AP Mola. The others don't open on a 24-hour basis for you to take your cargo. That adds to congestion. Secondly, many of them don't have their commercial sections open on Saturdays and Sundays, and you charge the demurrage on Saturday and Sunday. But if I'm able to take my cargo out on Saturday and Sunday, that's fine. And this also happens at the airport. NACO and SACOL open on Saturdays, maybe 10 to 1 or 2 o'clock. What happens for the rest of the day? Whereas, for cargo, for customers and people who are flying into Nigeria, customs is there on a 24-hour basis to receive people coming in. So why can't we take cargo out on a 24-hour basis from the airport or from the seaport? If these are done, then we will have less congestion in the seaport. Now, the Nigerian Shippers Council has stepped in, as we understand, and they're doing a good job there, calling these guys together. Can we look at the issues? You do not just arbitrarily increase prices, because we are saying the final consumer needs to have the goods at the competitive price.
When did they step in?
I think that's about 3 months back. They were just appointed.
And what has happened so far?
Stakeholder engagement. All stakeholders. They've done about 3, 4 across the country. I know in Lagos they've done about 4 or 5. Shipping companies separately, terminal operators separately, with customs and with agents together. They've collected views, and I think they are trying to get out their standard operating procedures and tackle the issues one-on-one. I think it will be very instructive if you can have a session with them, because
yeah, I actually contacted them, and I'm hoping to have them come up next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very important, because their role as economic regulators is so important that pending legislation, the president gave an executive order that they should take on that, because a lot of attention is not being given to the trade facilitation sector. Why do I say so? In the general investment promotion drive, the Lagos Chamber has communicated this to the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Trade and Investment. A lot of attention is being given to the upstream aspect, incorporation of companies and all that. the downstream aspects, power, how to sell to the end market. But the midstream is the trade facilitation. How the cargo, how from upstream, how you bring the goods in, get them out, warehouse, package, before you talk of the downstream selling. So that midstream section has not been given the full attention that is required. It is now the government is waking up to that. So you find a lot of foreign investors complaining that this is the aspect of the entire supply chain where we have issues. Key example, NIPP. See how many containers of NIPP have been in port for 4 or 5 years because of that midstream issue. So I hope that is, as a learning curve, everybody is understanding now that trade facilitation is the pivot for the success of the economic drive of the government.
Yeah, that's correct. Now, well, looking at all the issues you've mentioned, you've talked about, of course, the bad road, and then, of course, the fact that some people bring in empty containers into the port to offload there. Looking at this whole thing, what should be the way forward? I mean, both of you are operators in that sector. Let me ask you, what should actually be the way forward? I mean, aside from all these documentation problems, the Part thing, what do you think the federal government, and I know Lagos state government is actually doing something, you know, to help in the road issue?
Like I said before, any prevalent challenges goes with prevalent solution. Now, when the time was, the problem of the congestion was maybe lack of expansion or construction of new ones. It was resolved by expanding the existing ones and constructing new ones. This time around, if you think of expansion or construction of new ones, where will they be sited within Apapa? There's no more space. The first step we need to take is to relocate tank farms out of Apapa.
Okay.
Yes. Relocation of tank farms out of Apapa is very, very important. Another thing is how do we devise means? This particular issue we have been avoiding or dodging it. Kind of introducing a rail transport in a situation where cargoes can be carried from Apapa into the hinterland. Let there be a depot. Once ship discharges at Apapa, to be carried through rail out of Lagos, out of Apapa. It's very, very important. Another one is how do we develop other ports outside, out of the western region? For example, going towards the east. Because if a big ship, if big ships can bring in consignments at Apapa, and lighter berths or vessels can carry them through the waterways down to the east, it will reduce the pressure of containers being carried along the road.
All right.
These are more.
All right. Thank you very much, Emma Okoli. Well, you've just said it all, and I want to believe you agree with
I very much agree with him.
Yeah, because we really don't have much time. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for sharing your thoughts on this important issue and very delicate issue that a lot of people have been really showing a lot of concerns about. Well, I've been talking with Dr. Ike Nwosu. He is a member Freight Forwarders Group of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Mr. Emma Okoli, Assistant Secretary, Association of Nigerian Licensed Customs Agents, Apapa chapter. And in their opinion, the government should actually try to relocate the tank farms out of Apapa, introduce rail transport, and of course, develop other ports. Well, it all depends on how the federal government wants to do that. It's on that note that we draw the curtain on today's edition, and of course, for the week of this program. Do remember to join us again, same time next week. And I must say, thank God it's Friday. Have a beautiful weekend.